Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Hello English Podcast. I'm Helen, your English coach, grammar simplifier, and a person who genuinely believes grammar can be fun, even if that sounds crazy.
And I'm John, your co-host, storyteller, and unofficial grammar therapist for thousands of students who panic every time they see the word present perfect.
Yes, we're here to make grammar feel lighter, easier, and maybe even enjoyable.
Today we're sharing the best ways to learn English grammar. Not just standard rules, but the real secrets used by professional English teachers with decades of experience.
These are approaches that help you understand grammar faster, remember it longer, and use it naturally when you speak, without translating and without fear.
So let's begin. And if you're listening with a cup of coffee or tea, perfect. Grammar goes very well with caffeine.
You know, one of my favorite explanations about grammar came from a brilliant teacher who told me grammar is like Lego. The moment she said it, everything made sense.
Yes, because grammar isn't a huge monster. It's just tiny blocks that fit together. Subjects, verbs, time words, connectors, endings. If you understand how blocks connect, you can build anything.
I sometimes even bring actual Lego pieces to class. Kids understand immediately, and even adults smile because suddenly grammar becomes something physical, not abstract.
And the simplest way to think about grammar is this. Every sentence in English is who, do, when. That's it. 3 parts. Very basic, very clear.
For example, I eat at 8 a.m. My sister works every morning. We study English on Sundays.
And here is a great tip for learners. Always start with who. Even if you're nervous, even if you're unsure, start with who and everything else follows.
Another amazing method I learned from a teacher who trained diplomats. Don't think of tenses. Think of time machine buttons.
Yes! Students hear 12 tenses and immediately want to run away. But in real life, you only need 3 ideas: past, present, future.
One teacher used these 3 associations. Past is a story, present is now, future is a plan. That's it. It removes the stress and makes grammar very visual.
And when it comes to continuous tenses, the I'm eating type, imagine pressing play on a movie. A continuous action is a video, not a photo.
And perfect tenses, like I have eaten, are like checking a task off your list. Done. Completed. Result.
These visual metaphors help students learn faster than memorizing long explanations.
Do you remember the first time you heard present perfect?
Oh yes, I was a teenager. I thought it meant a present that is perfect, like a really nice birthday gift.
That's adorable. But that's exactly what happens to students. They get scared of grammar just because the name sounds complicated.
And this is why one teacher told me, teach the idea, not the name. If students understand the meaning, the name doesn't matter.
I love that because grammar is not about terminology. It's about communication. There's another huge lesson from top-level teachers. Grammar that only lives in your notebook is dead grammar.
Exactly. You don't learn grammar by reading about it. You learn it by using it. Speaking, writing, thinking, even imagining conversations.
Here's my favorite method. Learn a small rule, create 5 personal sentences. Say them out loud.
Yes, saying anything out loud activates memory differently. Your brain remembers the sound, not just the text.
For example, when learning present simple, I work every morning. I drink coffee at 7. I study English after dinner. I love sunny days. I read at night.
This transforms grammar from theory into something real, something you own. Here is another professional secret. The simplest sentence formula in the world. Subject plus verb plus object plus time. Master this and you'll instantly speak with fewer mistakes.
I use this formula all the time with my students. It removes fear, it gives structure, it makes everything predictable.
For example, I eat pasta at noon. I read books in the evening. She studies English every day.
And here's the best trick. If you're not sure where something goes, put it at the end. Native speakers do it constantly. Another brilliant technique is stop translating. Start recognizing patterns.
Your brain loves patterns, and English is full of them. I want to. I need to. I decided to. I like ing.
Once you know the structure, you can use it with anything. I want to sleep. I want to study. I want to travel. Same pattern, new meaning.
Patterns allow you to speak without thinking about grammar rules.
One of my favorite teachers taught grammar like music. She used rhythm.
Present simple has a short beat, like I work, you work, we work.
Present continuous has a flowing beat, like I am working, you are working, they are working.
Students learned faster because rhythm created memory. Grammar became a melody.
Another important idea, never learn grammar with boring, unrealistic sentences. Oh yes, nobody remembers the boy plays football.
But everyone remembers my brother plays football every Sunday. My neighbor sings in the shower every morning.
Personal examples stay in your brain for years. Let's talk about something extremely helpful. When you're confused, use the simplest tense.
Yes. When in doubt, go with present simple. It is universal, simple, and accepted everywhere.
Mistakes are often caused by overthinking. Simple grammar is safe grammar.
One of the smartest methods I've ever seen is the three-color technique. Blue for subjects, green for verbs, orange for time markers.
I've used it many times. It turns grammar into something visual. Students see the sentence.
Another brilliant thing, learn grammar in micro sessions. 5 minutes a day.
It's like language snacks, very easy for your brain to digest.
You learn faster this way because your brain gets small, frequent reminders.
One more powerful idea, connect grammar to emotions, personal stories, funny examples, embarrassing memories.
I once taught past simple using childhood disasters. Students laughed so hard they never forgot the grammar.
Emotion locks the rule into long-term memory.
And here is one of the most freeing ideas. You do not need all English grammar to speak English well.
Yes, you need the basics. Present simple, present continuous, past simple, future forms, modal verbs. Everything else is optional. Learn it only if you need it.
And now, before we go deeper, there's one more question we always hear from our students. How do I stop making the same grammar mistakes over and over?
And finally, it's time to answer that. In the next part, we'll talk about the most effective, the most powerful, and the most realistic techniques to fix grammar mistakes permanently.
Yes, not temporarily, not maybe if I'm lucky, but permanently.
Let's continue.
So, Helen, right before the break, we left our listeners with the biggest question of all. How do I stop making the same grammar mistakes again and again? It's such a common frustration.
Yes, and students often think mistakes happen because they're bad at grammar or because English is too difficult. But the real reason is much simpler. You never trained your brain to automatically correct itself.
Exactly. The key word here is automatically. You can't fix mistakes by thinking harder. You fix them by creating habits.
And one of the best techniques from professional teachers is something called mirror sentences. It's incredibly simple. Take a sentence you said incorrectly and say the correct version 3 times out loud.
Not write it, not repeat it in your head. Say it out loud 3 times.
Exactly. Your mouth is part of memory. The physical action of speaking helps the correct sentence stick. For example, if you accidentally say, he go to work, you stop, smile, and repeat 3 times. He goes to work. He goes to work. He goes to work.
I've seen students fix long-term mistakes in days using this method. The repetition feels almost silly, but it works like magic.
This is because your brain learns patterns through sound, not through rules. English is rhythm. Mistakes happen when your rhythm is wrong. So when you repeat the correct version, you overwrite the old pattern.
And another powerful technique is trigger words. These are words that help you instantly remember the right grammar. For example, if you hear the word every, your brain should trigger present simple. Every day, I study. Every week, she works.
If you see the word now, your brain should trigger present continuous. Now I'm learning. Now she's cooking. One teacher even made students stand up and clap each time they said a trigger word during practice. It looked ridiculous, but they remembered the tenses forever.
This is an excellent method sometimes called personalizing mistakes. When you make a mistake, don't ignore it, turn it into a story. For example, if you said, he go, create a funny sentence with it. My friend go to work on a dinosaur. It's silly, but you'll never forget that mistake again.
Exactly. The brain remembers anything that is emotional or funny. Humor is extremely powerful for grammar.
And speaking of emotions, one of the most effective grammar techniques is storytelling. When you learn a tense, tell a tiny story in that tense. For example, for past simple, yesterday, I woke up late. I spilled coffee. I missed the bus. It was a disaster.
Perfect! It's natural, memorable, and connected to real life. Stories are like glue. They keep grammar from falling out of your head.
I once had a student who could never remember past continuous. So we created a story called The Day Everything Happened at the Same Time. It was raining. My phone was ringing. My dog was barking. My neighbor was shouting. And that was it. She finally understood the tense.
Here's another teacher secret. Use grammar trios. For any verb, create 3 versions: present, past, and future. For example, I studied today. I studied yesterday. I will study tomorrow. You build mental connections this way.
Yes, and you can do this with regular verbs or irregular verbs. For example, go, went, will go. Eat, ate, will eat. Buy, bought, will buy. It's simple, but incredibly effective.
Another technique I love is finish the sentence. You learn a grammar structure by completing open sentences. For example, I'm going to. You finish it with something real. I'm going to learn English tonight. I'm going to call my mom later. Your brain fills grammar with meaning.
And for conditionals, you can use real-life logic. If I wake up early, I. If it rains tomorrow, we. You finish the sentence naturally. You don't memorize the rule, you live it.
One of the most powerful grammar tricks is called shadowing. You listen to a native speaker and repeat exactly what they say. Same speed, same rhythm. It trains your mouth and brain simultaneously.
Yes, and it's especially useful for learning questions because English questions have a very specific rhythm. Do you like it? Where are you going? What did you say? You learn this naturally through shadowing.
And there's the technique that many teachers call grammar through contrast. You take two tenses and compare them. I read every day. I'm reading now. By seeing them side by side, the difference becomes clear.
Contrast learning is incredibly powerful, especially with confusing pairs like past simple versus present perfect. Yesterday, I lost my keys. I have lost my keys and I still don't have them.
Another super simple trick is grammar questions. For every grammar point, ask yourself a question. For present simple, how often? For past simple, when? For present continuous, right now? The question guides the choice.
And then there's mnemonics, memory helpers. For example, for versus since. Since is start. For is duration. Short, clear, unforgettable.
One of my favorite teachers used this for irregular verbs. Sing, sang, sung, drink, drank, drunk, ring, rang, rung, all in patterns. Your brain loves patterns.
Another brilliant tip is make grammar physical. Move your body. Use gestures. Point behind you for past, point to the ground for present, point forward for future. This is how children learn.
Yes, and physical grammar works for adults too. Movement activates memory.
A very effective technique is grammar with real life. Use grammar to talk about your schedule, habits, childhood, goals. It becomes emotional and meaningful.
For example, to learn present continuous, look around the room. I'm sitting. I'm listening. I'm learning. Simple, real, correct.
To learn past simple, talk about your morning. To learn future going to, talk about tonight. It's always connected to your life.
And here's the biggest secret of all. You don't learn grammar to remember grammar. You learn grammar to communicate.
Yes, you don't need perfect grammar to speak perfect English. You need comfortable, clear, natural grammar.
That's the goal. Not perfection, communication.
And before we finish, let's repeat the most important ideas we shared today so our listeners lock them into memory. Use personal sentences. Repeat out loud. Use patterns. Use a rhythm. Use micro sessions. Use contrast. Use stories. Use humor.
Use emotion. And most importantly, use grammar for real life, not for tests. That's where magic happens.
Exactly. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget,
subscribe and like it so others can find it.
Thank you for learning with us.
And we'll see you in the next episode of Hello English Podcast. Bye!